Good morning everybody. إن شاء الله النهاردة إحنا شرحنا روميو أند جولييت من أولها لآخرها. النهاردة هعمل معاكم فوكس على الميمو بتاعتنا illustration للثيمز والكاركتر بتاعتنا إن شاء الله. Number one عندنا الثيمز. Number one revenge الانتقام. Mainly we have to focus in Tybalt. Tybalt wanted to kill Romeo for attending his uncle's party as he considered him mocking them, يعني making fun of them. But his uncle advised him to be calm. Later, Tybalt met Romeo and Mercutio and insulted Romeo, whom didn't want to make any problem with the Capulet family because of Juliet. But Mercutio didn't know his secret and considered this dishonorable. So he fought with Tybalt, but Tybalt killed him. Then Romeo could not stay calm, seeing his friend dead, so he killed Tybalt. يبقى احنا مع بعض لو ركزنا في الريفنج. Number one, we have to focus on Tybalt. Romeo attended the party of Lord Capulet. Tybalt knew him from his voice. Tybalt went to his uncle. He told his uncle, "This is our food, this is our enemy. He came here to our house, to our party. He is making fun of us, he is mocking us." But his uncle asked him not to do anything to Romeo, respect to their guests, and Romeo behaved as a gentleman from the beginning. So Tybalt said, "It will be another time." Few days later, Mercutio and Benvolio were walking in the streets of Verona. Tybalt and some Capulets met them. Tybalt began to speak with Mercutio and told him why you have a friendship with this Romeo. Then Romeo passed them. Tybalt left Mercutio and began to speak with Romeo, and he called him a villain. Romeo didn't answer him at all. Romeo didn't want any new problem with the Capulets family. But Mercutio didn't know why Romeo did not speak. He considered something like this dishonorable. Mercutio didn't know about Romeo's secret that he married Juliet. So Mercutio fought with Tybalt. Tybalt killed Mercutio. At that time, Romeo found his friend dead in front of him, so he couldn't control his feelings. So Romeo fought with Tybalt and killed him. يبقى ده الريفنج بتاعنا اللي هو الثيم الاولاني بنشرحه. بركز على تيبلت when Romeo attended the party. والبارتي التاني من الثيم اوف ريفنج بركز على الفايت اللي حصلت ما بين ميركيتشيو وتيبولت، وبعد كده تيبولت وروميو. Let's move to the second theme, death. We have main events like, for example, number one, Mercutio. Mercutio was killed by Tybalt. Lee. He refused to hear any offenses against his friend Romeo. اللي احنا قلناها من شوية. When Tybalt told Romeo that you're a villain, Romeo didn't answer, but Mercutio considered something like this dishonorable. So he fought with Tybalt, but Tybalt killed Mercutio. Okay? Number two, Tybalt's death. Tybalt's death ازاي؟ قلنا ان Romeo couldn't find his friend dead in front of him. Couldn't find him dead in front of him اللي هو his friend اللي هو Mercutio. So in a second خلاص Romeo fought with Tybalt and Romeo killed Tybalt. Number three, Paris's death اللي هو الكونت Paris. When Romeo heard that Juliet had died, he went to the churchyard to the Capulet's tomb, منطقة المقابر بتاع الكابولت, to say goodbye to his wife in her grave. He found Paris there. He met Paris. Paris was with his servant. He met Paris, who was very sad too. Paris went there to leave some flowers on his wife's grave. He thought that Romeo would do something bad for the dead bodies of the Capulet. So Paris, he found Romeo there. Paris, he was first there. Then he found Romeo came. He thought that he came to do something wrong for the dead bodies of the Capulet. So they both fought. They fought with each other. We Romeo killed Paris. Number four, Romeo's death. Uh, Romeo was in Mantau. He met some people from his city, Verona. They told him about Juliet's death. The messenger of Ferrier didn't meet Romeo. So Romeo decided to end his life beside Juliet. He went to a drugstore, he bought a bottle of poison, and he headed, yani went straight to Verona. He went to Juliet's grave. He opened her grave, he drank the bottle of poison and died beside her. يبقى Romeo's death, when he heard about Juliet's death, he was very sad and he brought a very quick poison from a chemist أو ممكن أقول drug store to let him die fast عشان يموت بسرعة. He went to Juliet's grave, راح الأب, sat beside her, lay beside her, and drank the poison and died. Number five, Juliet's death. When Juliet woke up, she found Romeo beside her and he was holding a bottle of poison. She realized that he didn't know about her plan with Ferrier Lawrence and committed suicide. That's why she took the bottle from his hand. She drank the rest of the bottle of poison. Then she heard some noise came. She stabbed herself by a knife to end her life and died beside her lover. نشوف احنا كاتبين ايه. Juliet's death. When Juliet woke up from her sleep, she found Romeo lying beside beside her, beside her, beside e, beside her. Then she looked at the bottle with him, realized that he committed suicide. Then she drank the rest of the bottle, and when she heard some noise, she stabbed herself with a knife and died beside him. يبقى الثيم الاولاني ريفنج الانتقام اتكلمنا عليه. نمبر 2 ديث، ده المين ايفنتس. ممكن بعض الناس يقولوا لي ذا ديث اوف ذا تو جاردز. ايه تو جاردز؟ نو 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 forget this. So death عندي الفايف ايه، المين فايف ايه ايفنتس اللي عندي. تو ديث ده كان هاملت بس انا اتلخبطت. يبقى عندي ديث هنا، دول الفايف مين ايفنتس اللي عندنا. نمبر 3 social struggle. Social struggle, the main 2 points, the two famous families, the Montagues and the Capulet. Number 2, Tybalt and Romeo. Let's see. The Montagues and the Capulet, the two most important rich families in Verona, had a quarrel, had a fight between them long time ago. From that time, they were enemies, and their servants couldn't meet without exchanging angry words and even fighting. Couldn't meet without exchanging angry words. لو صعب عليا ممكن أقول without insulting each other. يبقى ده the Montagues and the Capulets، العداء اللي ما بين العيلتين من زمان. Number 2, we can say between Tybalt and Romeo. Tybalt wanted to kill Romeo for attending his uncle's party، ودي برضو احنا كنا قلناها مع الريفنج، فممكن تمشي معايا كسوشيال ستراجل برضو. يبقى number 1 theme revenge, number 2 death, number 3 social struggle. نروح للكاركترز بتاعتنا. عندنا number 1 روميو، وزي ما شرحت لكم في بعض الادجectives اللي هي بتميز روميو، فممكن يجي لي في الامتحان اقول he was brave، روميو was brave، discuss with two او prove with two examples او two situations، اشرح لي ان هو كان شجاع، حاجات زي كده. Let us see. Romeo, number one, he was a loyal person. He was a faithful person to Rosalind. كان مخلص لروزالين. But she didn't share him the same feelings. يعني حب كان من طرف روميو بس. Number two, he was a loyal person to Juliet. This was clear when he heard that she was dead. He went to a drugstore, put a bottle of poison, went to her tomb, our grave, and drank that bottle and died beside her. Number three, he was a romantic man who wanted to have a wife and to live in peace as he tried to protect his love for Juliet without shedding blood, بدون إراقة مزيد من الدماء, and married her secretly to honor her name. Number four, number four, he was brave. This was clear in many situations. الشجاعة بتاعته في مواقف كتيرة. Number one, when he went to Lord Capulet's party, although he might be killed. احنا قلنا ان كان في a quarrel between his family and the Capulet family long time ago. They are like enemies. So when he took a decision and went to that place, اللي هو the house of Lord Capulet, this meaning it's a risk. Okay, so he was brave to go to Lord Capulet's party, although he might be killed. Number two, when he went again after the party, and hid in the hid in the garden to speak with Juliet. See, when he killed Tybalt in defense of his friend Mirkechu, who was killed by Tybalt. إما قتل Tybalt because Tybalt had killed his friend. Number four, when he met Paris at the tomb, ده برضه في البريف, when he met Paris at the tomb of Juliet and kills him in a fight. يبقى عند روميو loyal person to Rosalind, number two loyal person to Juliet, a romantic man, and number four brave. Let's move to number two. Character of Juliet. Number one, she was a romantic girl who fell in love with Romeo at first sight. Number two, she was brave. This was clear in many situations. Number one, when she agreed to marry Romeo secretly, although she knew the hatred between families. Number two, when it's not he, when she agreed to Ferrier's dangerous plan to take the medicine and to be put in the grave. Number three, she was loyal. When she found her lover Romeo dead beside her, holding a bottle of poison, she stabbed herself with a knife to die with him, as she thought or believed that she couldn't live after him. Number four, she was wise. يعني smart. ازاي? When she tried to get excuses to her father to refuse the marriage from Paris, حاولت تجد أعذار إن هي ترفض العرض بتاع الجواز البروبوزال اللي باباها جابه لها بتاع كونت باريس. When she told him that she was still young and I cannot marry and my cousin Tybalt had just died. طبعا Lord Capulet didn't listen to her and told her, asked her to be ready for her marriage next Thursday. Number three, Ferrier Lawrence. Number one, Ferrier was a famous religious man who played an important role in bringing Romeo and Juliet together. Bringing Romeo and Juliet together يجمع شملهم and married them together ويجوزهم as he was a friend of both families. كان friend لعيلة مونتيجو وعيلة كابلت. Number two, Ferrier to Romeo. He was an advisable and helpful man. Advisable, ناصح, ازاي? This was shown يعني clear when he advised him to forget all about Rosalind whom didn't share him the same feelings. أقف مع النقطة دي شوية. We knew that from time to time Romeo was suffering too much because Rosalind didn't love him, so he couldn't sleep by night. He preferred to be alone. He went to Ferrier Lawrence many times to complain. Rosalind, we can Ferrier Lawrence asked him to forget her. طيب يبقى failure هنا unadvisable. number 2 helpful. الجزء الثاني في number 2 helpful meaning supporter. ازاي؟ especially when Romeo told him about his new love for Juliet, he agreed to marry them secretly as he wanted to put an end to the long hatred between the two families. يبقى كان هنا Ferrier supported لروميو وفي نفس الوقت we can say that he was a smart and wise man because he wanted to end the long hatred between the two families, Capulet's family ومونتيجو's family. Number 3 Ferrier to Juliet. برضه كان advisable وhelpful هنا. He supported her when she came telling him about her father's intention نية باباها of marrying her to Paris. He gave her a drugged bottle. He told her about some instruction, a dangerous plan يعني, and she agreed. يبقى he gave her a drugged bottle and advised her to pretend ترجع البيت pretend to be happy of marrying Paris and drank that bottle, which would make her cold, lifeless, and sleeping for 42 hours. وزي ما قلت قبل كده لو قلنا 42 hours أو 48 hours الاثنين both right. So, day of the wedding, Count Paris will come to take his bride. هيجي عشان ياخد عروسته. So they will think that she is dead and bury her. Then he will go later to open her grave, and he will send the messenger from his side to Romeo to come secretly from Mantau to Verona to open Juliet's grave. So he wanted to help her to go to Romeo in Mantau. يبقى ده بالنسبة لي Ferrier Lawrence. Number 1 famous religious man. Number 2 his relation with Romeo, advisable, helpful, advisable regarding Rosalind. Number 2, helpful, supporter regarding his new Romeo's new love for Juliet. وقلنا انه ممكن نقول he was wise and smart لانه he did that because he wanted to end the hatred between the two families. ونمبر 3 failure to Juliet اللي هي supported her. Let's move to the fourth character, Benvolio, صاحب روميو. Number 1, he was a true friend. True friend meaning loyal or faithful. He was a true friend who wanted to cure his friend Romeo of his love by showing him many other ladies, many other beautiful ladies. So he convinced Romeo to go to Lord Capulet's party wearing a mask as Romeo could compare Rosalind to other beautiful ladies. عايزه يروح هناك عشان يقدر يبقى قدامه اوبشنز كتيره يعني يقدر يقارن روزالين بالاذر beautiful ladies اللي هم في الحفله بتاع لورد كابلت. So he convinced him. He convinced قلنا ان هو he convinced him to go to Lord Caplet's party as Romeo could compare Rosalind to other beautiful ladies. Benvolio كان عايز Benvolio was wise, smart. He wanted Romeo to realize what? To realize that his swan اللي هو قصده على Rosalind. It was just a crew. يعني هي ليست بجعة جميلة كما تظنها يا روميو إنها مجرد غراب. دي اللي كان بنفوليو عايز يخلي روميو realize it, يدرك الموضوع ده. Number 2, Benvolio was wise. ازاي? When Tybalt spoke in a rude way with Mercutio, he tried to prevent this quarrel. He tried to separate Tybalt ومركيتشو يفصلهم عن بعض. Number 3, he was loyal ازاي? This was clear after Romeo had killed Tybalt, as he tried to tell the prince the truth without harming his friend. So يبقى احنا لو شفنا عندنا هنا الحاجات اللي عايزين نركز عليها. قلنا الثيمز عند ريفنج، والريفنج قلنا تيبولت. نمبر 2 عندنا ديث، عندنا 5 حاجات. نمبر 3 social struggle main 2 points الهيترد between مونتيجوز وكابوليتس. ونمبر 2 تيبل تو وروميو الكاركترز عند روميو وعندي كمان جولييت، وعندنا فيرير، لورنس، وعندنا بينفول. يبقى باختصار كده حضراتكم ما تحبوا تراجعوا روميو وجولييت، في فيديو سجلته لكم الاول شرح المسرحيه من اولها لاخرها بمين بوينتس عشان ابقى فاهم الاحداث من اولها لاخرها. وعندنا النهارده الفيديو الثاني اللي انا سجلته لكم اهو، اللي هو بتاع الثيمز والكاركترز، اللي هي الالستريشن بتاعت ايه، بتاعت المسرحيه، اللي هي تعتبر الحاجات المطلوبه من حضراتكم. وش ان شاء الله ان انتوا تبقوا ايه، كل حاجه كده ايه، مش محتاجين حاجه وكل حاجتكم ايه سهله.